Howdy, guys. Howdy. Be right back. Whoa. Problems. No idea how many people are gonna be here right now, but yikes. All sorts of issues today. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Howdy, howdy, guys. So, there was all sorts of issues getting the stream up today, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay, we're here now. And today, we're gonna be doing... Oh, hold on one sec. Let me make sure I muted something else. Yeah, so I had a Windows update go, like as I was setting up for my stream. And then all sorts of issues ensued when the system finally booted up. Like Explorer won't launch, so I had to like manually launch all the apps that I normally have up, which is unfortunate. But we should be good to go. And today we're gonna build an E65. And nothing is gonna stop us. So let me pull this bad boy out. We can take a look at it. So E65 should be beautiful. So I did actually open this earlier, and it looks like I don't have. I'm gonna test. Okay, cool. Chat does work on the side. Again, sorry guys about the lateness. I try never to be late. Not ever, ever. Not ever. But, you know, we get what we get. So, apparently, Exclusive gives you these awesome gloves, which is cool. Quite cool. And then of course they give you a gasket material. The name tag is going to be in here, some case screws, some bump-ons, etc. And then they wrap this board in this like tissue paper stuff. I've seen other Exclusive boards. So nothing crazy new. I mean, obviously these are new. These just shipped from the menu. But, you know, nothing crazy otherwise. Let me move this kind of in a little bit. Yeah, man. Super bummed about getting started so late. Windows Update sucks. That's all I have to say about that. I recommend no one ever have automatic updates turned on, which is dumb because that's how Windows, you know, does it automatically. So we're doing one of these gasket types, you know, the kind that like goes around the bottom or around the switches once you've got them all in there, like between the plate and PCB. Oh yeah. So anyway, I kind of started in the background like looping stabilizers because I was like, well, I'm building this one way or another. Hopefully everything will come together. Looks like it did. But yeah. So we'll pull this out. So I'm actually going to build another one of these real soon, a polycarbonate one. which I'm kind of looking forward to. I think it should be pretty sweet. So we'll pull that out in a second and test the PCB after we get this whole thing undone. Alright, so how's everybody's day been today? Hopefully pretty good. Looks like a few of you guys are filtering in. Of course, I was late, so, you know, it's my bad, not your guys's. Try not to tear this tissue paper up too bad. Of course, exclusive doesn't make it easy. So while this is a customer board, it did ship direct to me from the menu. So I'm the one who gets to encounter all of the awesomeness or flaws, but I haven't heard anybody report anything. Yeah, I'm trying not to tear it up. I don't know how good it'll turn out in the end, because it's tissue after all. There, that one looks like it came up. There, that one did too. Cool. I don't know, even on the best boards, or even on the best wrappings where it's not taped, there's no way to really not tear that up. Oof. I have to admit, I am tempted to actually use those gloves on this because it's so shiny. But man, look at this. How pretty that is. And I haven't looked to see if the customer's custom engraved, if it's like, if customer got his name engraved in it or not. Take a look at that and see. I'll look at it off screen in case it's on there. Customer doesn't want it shown. No, this one's just the brass one. So we'll leave the other one in. The fingerprint magnet one, the polished, the high polished one. That one will be easy. Anyway, this is truly a beautiful board, I have to admit. I do have to admit, it looks quite nice. And it's funny, the other customer who's sending me their polycarbonate one looked at theirs and was like, hey, it's got this weird hex bolt, and it looks like it's like a 1.5 maybe smaller. Sure, I've got a hex driver that'll do that. So here's 1.5 millimeter. I'm gonna guess that's what it is, and that is what it is. That is precisely what it is. Anyway, so we're gonna get this apart and we'll pull the plate out. And there it goes. It uses those all around, which is good. It does use a strange size, 1.5 millimeter. But that's all right. So guys, let me know if there's any music volume too loud, too quiet. I hate starting late. I always try and start like exactly on time. If you guys notice, I always have like the countdown to start going, and I start the stream like 10 minutes early and then just switch over right when it's ready. Hey Deli, thanks for following. It looks like you followed a couple hours ago. Nice, man. I already did that one. See that history. Man, this is actually a really beautiful board. I don't know if I like the bottom row layout so much though, compared to standard 65, right? Because before we get that top off, since there's still a screw in there, right? You have the like half U blocker and then another one over here. So you have kind of a different layout, right? And then it's gonna go something like this. So we're totally gonna have to fidget with the bottom row layout on this bad boy, like referring back to the top, back and forth. But that's all right. We will get it. Oh yeah. Today has been one of those days for me. I don't know. Customer joins sometimes customers do, sometimes they don't. I leave it up to them. I just let them know when the build's gonna happen, and then you know, let them choose what they're gonna do. This same customer, I built something for them really recently, and they didn't make it. They did watch, but they didn't join in. Oh my lord. So Windows Explorer literally just started up while we were doing this. So who knows, man? Who knows? What are you gonna do? Let Windows be Windows, I suppose. Okay, so we're gonna remove these, and I'm gonna throw those gloves on because, well, I really don't want to get fingerprints all over this shiny board. There's some kind of a little scratch right there already. Here, let me minimize. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of a bummer. It's on the bottom side of the plate, so it really isn't that big of a deal. Whoa. Literally all my startup apps are trying to start now. As long as all the audio stays intact, I'm good with it. Yeah, I don't know. My streaming rig is not like is not super new. Like, it's one of my older systems, but it's still pretty fast. And it just took forever for Windows to update. I'm guessing Windows just did like a major revision, and that actually makes sense. Oh well. So it's funny that you ask if the customer's joining, right? So customers, sometimes they join, sometimes they don't. But in general, I always welcome it, because there can be moments where, like, they want something a little different that they're noticing in the moment. And they're like, oh no, don't do that. For this customer, I don't think that's really possible, because all he sent me was 7U stabilizers for the space. So he could pretty much only want, I think, one layout, maybe two. I don't remember what it supports. Where'd those gloves go? Let's grab them. Let's grab them just for the sake of doing it. I don't think I've ever done this for any customer build. Especially because I have big hands. Like, big fat fingers. There we go. Alright. And it is beautiful, and the anno job on it is quite pretty. Looks quite good. We're actually going to need this top piece several times throughout the build. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think there's only so many 7U options. There might only be one, honestly. Here, let's look at it for a sec. I'll grab one of my 7Us because customers are all in pieces right now for lubing. Now my fingers don't work because of all the lack of grip. So there's a 7U support, and there is. So it looks like there's actually probably two 7U options. It can be here or here. So we'll take a look at it once it's available. Yeah, I don't know how much we'll actually use these. As much of a pain as it is. These gloves, I mean. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we're gonna set that there. We'll leave this top over here. Set the bottom. Okay, we don't need these now. Not for now. It is quite pretty, honestly. So we're going to be doing Tealios today. Honestly, this is a really, really beautiful board. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's all of our LEDs seem to work. And set our lube off to the side. Get a drink. All right. So now let's pull up Switch Hitter. These are lubed Tealios, lubed either by the customer or previously lubed before the customer bought them. They feel all right though. Okay. So I'm trying to remember what programs the E65, if it's VIA or if it's simple QMK, which I mean, I just don't remember. That one's not important anyway. So I always test customer PCBs for anybody who doesn't know, like pretty much most of the streamers. Just, you know, because it's good to have that, hey, I tested this PCB and it worked, or I tested it and it didn't work before I touched it with a soldering iron. In case a menu is like, well, you just messed up the PCB when you did it. It was you. And in cases where it is messed up, you know, I defer to the customer and kind of let them choose what they want to do. So 5U shift, there we go. Okay, so the whole layout on this thing is pretty fixed if we look at the plate again. With the exception of, obviously, backspace could be split, left shift could be split, and then the bottom row, which is pretty common, right? I mean, it's pretty much what we run into all over the place. I'm guessing this is a function layer, and we'll check that out in a sec. We should have our arrow keys. Okay. And then, in order to check the functionality of that function layer thing, we'll do something funny like bridge it, and then start trying to actuate other things. Yeah, and so we saw the mode change on the LEDs, so we know that function layer works, right? Pretty easy. Hey, what up, tinfoil? I got a super late start today. Silly computer updates on my streaming rig. Super dumb. What you gonna do? So yeah, so now that we've tested this PCB, we know that it pretty much works, right? we'll set it aside, or somewhat aside. And we will, I kind of want to figure out, I'm gonna get the, I'm actually gonna lube the stabs first. So I already lubed all these, but I haven't lubed these yet. So we'll get to that. So this is, honestly, in my opinion, if you guys are building your own boards or anything, this is the step that gets you the absolute biggest, most premium modification or change that you can do that will improve your typing experience as your build progresses or as you use it, and that is lubing your stabs. Because frankly, just pull up any OEM board, right, and listen to the rattle that the stabilizers have, and that's 100% addressable with a decent lube job. I shouldn't say 100%, right? There are some stabilizers that can't really be saved, some lesser good stabilizers. Like plate mount stabs usually can't be 100% silenced and good. A lot of Alps stabilizers, as much as I love Alps, can never be 100% perfect. CoStar stabilizers will never be like 100% silent and rattle free. No matter how good of a job you do, I don't think it's ever really possible to eliminate all possibility of rattle in those stabilizers. But with GMK screw-in type, I think it's absolutely possible. Your mileage may vary. I mean, it's possible the molds will get so bad at some point that they aren't for Cherry or GMKs. And I know there's been stabilizers that people have bought, like from Novelties and stuff like that, since the beginning of the year, screw-in ones, where they haven't been as good, despite being from a premium manu. And that is probably related to tiring molds. The tolerances are loosening up. What you gonna do, right? So I'm trying to imagine what key set I want to put on this board to show it off. This kind of looks like a, I mean, I'll let it up to you guys, but this kind of looks like a Moto board because of its dark gray kind of look. Maybe white on black would be good on it, but white on black is good on like every board. What up, Shocks? How you doing, man? I got a lesson tonight, Shocks, in PC setup of my stream PC. Like all my main rigs always and forever pretty much have like automatic updates turned off. Like they'll download but won't ever apply updates automatically, and in Windows 10 that's kind of a pain to do. When I repurposed this machine to do just my stream setup, I reinstalled Windows 10 on it. There's like a fresh install on a fresh drive, and right as I was about to start streaming, it's like I need to update, and it was like I will be updating in an hour, one way or the other. Like it would let me postpone for only 1 hour, and I was like, shit. So I let it go, and it totally took forever. And then when it came up, Explorer wouldn't launch. Or it was launching, it was just taking forever to do something in the background. So I had to like manually launch OBS and all my applications. It started after we started the stream, Explorer, but yikes. So needless to say, there will be some configuration stuff that goes on after stream. It really is, man. It really, really is. I was like, oh, dumb Windows is dumb. What's up, Martakia? How you doing? Having fun? Having a good day? So yeah, I've had a long day. It's been not a rough one, just, you know, long. Lots of little stuff here and there. Which is weird for a hump day. Wednesdays usually aren't so bad. For me. Thursdays are actually usually way rougher. And my Thursday is gonna be not so rough tomorrow. Practicing some sculpting for artisans. Oh man. Been in a slump at work lately. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate. I hope that it gets better. I really do. So I like my job. As much of a pain as it can be sometimes, I enjoy my work. Which is odd, because as my work has shifted more toward like program management, I've started liking it more and more. Which like doing PM work is kind of cool and fun for me somehow. Thought it would be the suck. What did I eat for dinner? I ate snack like cheeses and like a stuffed bell pepper thing that was meal prepped way before. Actually, what I ate for dinner was the lunch that I didn't eat because my day was long and rough. I know that's not super exciting, but it just is what it is. I'm not really big on dinner every weeknight though. It's not really, I don't like take a lot of time out for dinner unless I go somewhere. There's not a lot of lube on the side of this. So Martakia, I'm really curious about the sculpting work that you're doing. I know conceptually how that works, but I'm terrible with art, so it's super interesting to me how people get into that and like what motivates you to come up with new designs or what inspires you. Artisans are one of the few parts of this hobby that I've never explored heavily, because it seems like another niche of this hobby where I would just like dump tons of money. So I've kind of forced myself not to, even though I've had some cool opportunities. Think it was looking for a way to express yourself and the interests you have. So are your artisans like themed after things that you're interested in outside of Keebs? I mean, I'm happy to hear that you have things that drive you specifically. I think you kind of have to, I guess, though, to be into something that creative. It's funny because I've totally had like drawings and stuff that I've drawn up for keyboard designs, but they're almost not, I don't want to say they're completely uncreative, but they're creative in that industrial design kind of way where I'm like, how would I incorporate this thing into this design? Nothing that I've had made, which I probably should remedy at some point. Have something made, even if it's just for me, like a one-off at, you know, extreme cost, because having one thing manued is not cheap. Should at least have something printed. Well, Shocks, I may have to hit you up and we may have to do something cool. You've been looking for a local CNC machine you can use because you think you want to make your own one-off. That's awesome. Honestly, like, it's hard for me because what I really want to do is buy... I mean, what I would really like to be able to do is afford my own VMC and just buy one. But barring finding an amazing deal on one on the random, what's way more likely for me would be to buy an old Bridgeport style vertical milling machine and then do a CNC conversion. But I have a feeling that if I did that, it would take me away from keyboards for a while, because that would become my like time sink hobby. Like, I would not have time to do anything except work and make a machine like that into what I want it to be. You know, so with commitments, it's like hard. There are maker spaces. I don't know where you live, but I mean, there are maker spaces within 100 miles of where I live, but they're at the edge of my ability to like drive there for at the end of a day. I mean, I could do it. It would just be a huge, huge time investment. They don't have CNC milling machines that I could use on my own, though, which is fair. They don't want you crashing their machine. As well as a place you can send the design off to and work with them to have it produced. That's cool. See, that's really awesome. 5-axis. Whoa. Wow, you found a makerspace that has a 5-axis milling machine? Like a VMC, like a... That's crazy, man. That's impressive. Machine time on it, even in the makerspace, though, is probably pretty pricey. Like, the place I was looking at had a 4-axis. Well, they had 4-axis capability, but you could take the 4-axis rotary table off and just do 3-axis milling, obviously. And they wanted, like, I don't know if it was $20 or $40 per machine hour, which is pretty low, right? But it had to be operated by their guy, and availability was kind of limited for that person. 5-axis for you, dude. 5-axis is BA, but I don't know, like, what you're gonna like. Do you have a keyboard design that you need 5-axis milling for? Because that sounds awesome. Like compound curves, man. All sorts of compound curves. I mean, it's awesome. I hope you do. Might as well make one that needs it. See, I don't know. I think you make the design that appeals to you regardless of what it takes, and then you have that manufactured in the way that it requires. I mean, 5-axis would be like if you were trying to learn about machining and you were going to be operating the machine with help, and you're like, F it, I'll design something that does it that way. So if that's what you want to do, then that makes sense. But if you do some like really simple design, it's very squared off, that only requires 3-axis, And I mean, most of the cubes that are made require 3-axis milling, not 4 or 5. I think that I can think of off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of that requires 4-axis is Kepler, right? I mean, probably, and Kepler FC65 probably. This, we'll look at it on the underside, but I think it's 3-axis. Pretty sure it is. This E65. Really excited to get into it. I mean, that's cool, man. Machining is actually really interesting. And where we're going in the world, I think, so with laser cutting and 3D printing and resin printing and everything becoming so accessible, we're kind of going into a new world. The hard part is actually doing metalwork, right? Because it hasn't fundamentally gotten easier in terms of operation since the 80s, when CNC was really commonly introduced all over, when VMCs started existing, right? I think I lubed one too many stabs. That's okay. Customer has an extra lubed stabilizer. But yeah, I don't know. It's gotten more accessible for sure, but it hasn't gotten as accessible as other types of manufacturing. What colorway / material is the E65? So, here. So this E65 is, well, give me one sec. I need to make sure. Oh, helps if my keyboard is plugged in. I unplugged it to use that to test the other board. So if I go to customers, I just want to see. Okay, good. Just making sure. Okay, so colorway and material. So this is the top. So the whole board is gray. And the plate and this accent piece are made out of a polished brass. I mean, it looks copper in finish, but I'm pretty sure it's not copper. It very well could be. You guys can look it up, but I'm pretty sure it is not. But yeah, it's like a rose gold color. It looks like it's PVD coated that way, I would guess. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. What should I put on it? I'm thinking it's a moto day, but I'll give you guys some options near the end of the build and let you guys think about it. All right. Okay, so here we go. Get that left shift situated. Actually, let me pull the screws out for a minute. So you managed to snag a poly / brass in the aftermarket. Dude, good on you. I am fairly certain that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be building one of those on here, obviously. It may be in a... in an off build cycle, so not on a Wednesday. In fact, it probably will be, because I believe it'll be arriving to me tomorrow. And then, come on. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay. So, this is the Earth. Please tell me that's not before your guys' time. You know what I'm talking about. The end of the world video. At least one of you. Chillin'. Hey, what up, Bobby McBobby? How you doing? And so we have, yeah, I love that video, Deli. That's an awesome, hilarious Group X video. It is pretty old though, I will say. But I'm like tired. Well, have a nap. Then fire the missiles. Yeah, man. Glad to hear you're having a good day. I had a very rough start of my stream with a Windows update, but now I'm having a great day. Which is always the case once we get into the stream and started. Kind of the stress just for me. That's kind of how it goes. It just gets relaxed. I don't know, there's a very like Zen kind of thing going on for me when it's time to build keyboards and chat with people on stream. That's just how it works for me though. I like hanging out, chatting with people, doing something like this that requires, you know, on and off some serious brain power, but not sometimes, right? I mean, things go wrong in builds sometimes, knock on wood, but then you got to think about it and figure it out. I think for a lot of customers, or I think a lot of people who pay to have someone else build their board, what they're paying for is somebody to deal with those issues, right? Because they do pop up. And if you've never encountered them or don't know how to overcome them, it gets all sorts of frustrating. But that's okay, because for me, it's like, okay. For me, like, those are the kind of moments where I just kind of relax and dig it, right? Boards like yours deserve to be built by someone who's experienced like you. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I really do. So I don't know if split, so customer didn't say, so we always go with split back, or sorry, stepped caps when no one says what they want, because, well, frankly, it's just better. I understand. You know, the funny thing is even I've considered like reaching out to Nathan Kim and being like, dude, build one of my boards, or like build one of mine and maybe I'll build one of yours or something. Just because it'd be nice to have somebody else's work. Be like, hey, this guy built this board and it's really good. Not that I can't build my own board. Well, I can. And I do all of my boards. but I don't know. Other people build boards well too. Where did I get these O-rings for the stabs? So these are nylon washers that I got off of Amazon, and they look something like this. Next on deck. Hey man, thanks for hosting with 46 viewers. Wow, thanks guys. That's awesome. So yeah, this is what they are, Italian Spider-Man. And I highly recommend them. What's up, Drifting Bunnies? How's it going, man? Buy Iron, thanks. Iron's pretty cool. Dilly, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. Wow, dude. You guys are awesome. Mechs on deck, you guys are amazing. Also, see you guys next week. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think Iron's pretty cool. I actually caught the beginning of Mechs on Deck today because I had problems with my streaming rig. It like just wanted to do an update, and I was like, shit. Okay. Guess I'm gonna be hanging out, because normally I don't catch your guys' streams until the Tuesday after they happen. Like yesterday I watched last week's of your stream. That's just how it kind of tends to work out for me. Sometimes I catch it on the weekend or on like Thursday night, maybe like late or part of it, and then Friday part of it. But yeah. Hey, how's it going? I'm doing well now. Now that we're started. So this E65, so this is where I'm like, how are we gonna lay this out? Because customer gave me only 7U stabilizers, and so if we do this guy right here, I mean, if I were smart, I would pull up the E65 buy page and I would look at all the bottom rows that it supports. That would be, you know, like the intelligent way to do this, but I'm gonna do it the hard way. Boom. Excited to see the end product of this. Me too. I'm actually really excited about this board, honestly. Like, and I'm building another one within the next couple weeks, a polycarbonate one. So what tab didn't I get? So I'm like super looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to this one because it looks really cool, but okay, let's just set that there. So then we'd have like a 1.5U right there. And then what would we have over here? So it's a quarter or a half and a half. So this should be 14 U's. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half. Okay. So we could do like 1.5. Wait, that doesn't. 7. It's 3. Okay, I'm like, derp. What's going on? So this doesn't make sense. So I could have like 2 1 1/4s there. Is that right? I know, it's so weird having this blocker over here. It'd be like a 1 and a. Oh, it's so confusing. Okay, I think it's a 3 1.25s on this side. Does that sound right? Sounds right. Faja, thanks for following. I appreciate it. I really do. Pretty sure this is the way this works out. No. So. So a 1U? Oh, that actually makes sense, right? So 2.5, 3.5, 10.5, 12. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I don't know if that's the right way. So this is a function key, so it could make sense to do it that way. Like 1.251, which looks doable. Okay, that's what we're gonna try for. So we'll leave that 7U, because there's two 7U bottom positions. One's way over. It's not HHKV, it's just E65. E65 weirdness. Which, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? So all the Windows Control and Alt keys are gonna be over here, and then a Windows key, a 1U code, and a 1.5. Super weird. And customer only supplied 7U, so that must be what he wants. And isn't in here to say otherwise. Yeah, these are gonna be Tealios. Gat inks. Do you love the sound of... They are really good. Crackling sound when opened up in lube. No. Crackling when opened up and lubed? Are you talking about like a spring crunch? See, I would believe that. That must be what you're talking about. I don't know. I like Gat inks, but I think Tealios are just better all around, in my opinion. And we talked about that on my last stream when Brian joined us for a little bit from Top Clack. Like, he even agreed, and I think that they're just slightly superior. The sound may be really cool on inks, but the smoothness on Tealios is just phenomenal. Ooh, so what is it you got here? Is the Geek Hack topic on it? Loose leaf problem. Oh, okay. So I actually ran into some Tealios while I was lubing that had a loose leaf, where if you popped literally if you pushed up on here's one. If you pushed on the leaf side spring, the solid leaf part, the part that's in front, it would pop up a little bit. But they seem to work just fine and sound good otherwise. Sound is important to you, so you prefer inks. You know what? Prioritize whatever makes sense for you and your board. That's honestly, preference is what it's all about, right? You get to have whatever board build makes sense for you, makes the best sense for your tastes. It's like lube, right? Lube is an art, so you lube switches the way you want. Somebody says that it's only right to do one thing versus another, and it's like, come on. Yeah, Tealios are great. If you like linears, Tealios are great. I try not to weigh in too heavily on linears because I'm not a linear guy. Oof, look, cat scratches. I have a kitten and he kind of stopped scratching for a little while, and then all of a sudden like attacked my hands hard while we were playing, and it was like, okay, jerk. Anyway, I will put these gloves on, even though I hate them. Because I do not want fingerprints all over customer's plate. I think they're a little silly, personally. And I think fingerprints are unavoidable on your plate no matter what you do. But you do what you do. All right, so let's try and set this. Let's put a couple of anchors up in the corner. Ooh, this may not last long. Especially because these Tealios are lubed. There may be a little lube on them, depending on how whoever lubed them did it. It's possible. So we'll put a couple corner switches in there just to anchor it down while... and we will figure it out. Do some mime stuff. Yeah, I can't do it. Pantomime, I think is what you mean. I'm not good at it. All I can do is hold my hands out directly. Japanese horror writer, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. That's awesome. I appreciate it so much. Oof. All right. This Tealio was not together all the way. So these are customer provided, not me provided lube job. I don't know if the customer lubed them, but I think he bought them that way. Oh, they have films on them. Okay. They have films in them. Because that's what Tealios need. Films. All sorts of stability. Yeah, see? A little bit of lube. Yeah, I do not like films on Zeal switches because they're so tight already. Okay, well, that's gonna have to be good enough. All those pins are straight, so that's gonna have to be good enough for now. Get them in there. Okay, so now let's do our bottom row layout. Make sure that we're doing it right. Make sure we get our... Ooh, Duncan Yo-Yo 1. Thanks for following, man. Haven't tuned in a while. Good to be back. Hope all is well. All is well, man. I appreciate it so much. Wait, Japanese horror writer. What was the rip for? Oh, rip on my pantomiming? Yeah, not so great. You tried to share the PCB layouts in the link above. Oh, did you? I mean, wait, in what link? Oh, yeah, 1U, 1.5, 7, 1.5. I don't think that's what we got when we did this. I think that it does support that, but I think I can just do 1.5 over here, right? Oh, like a boss. So I could do 1515, and that's probably actually the right way to do this, honestly. Yeah. That actually doesn't make sense. Because there's this... I see what you're saying. But it supports a 7U stab where I just put this. Okay, we're gonna look at it again. Yeah, that's probably what he wants is, okay, that's what we're gonna do then. We'll move this stabilizer over. That makes better sense. So that means, and it does look like it's 1U over 2. So, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Italian Spider-Man. So in my build quotes, I put, if you don't specify a layout, then I will do stepped caps lock and whatever makes sense for the bottom row, which is why I always ask my customers to provide a layout, because I want them to get what they want. But if they don't do it, usually what I choose for the bottom row makes sense, but that makes way better sense, so we'll do that. Oh, this would have worked for sure. That's why I put those together on the bottom row, and I was like, that'll work. But we'll try this out, and I bet it will be fine. And I appreciate it very much. It does totally make sense because because the numbers add up that way. But there's only 2 locations that the 7U stab can go in. So yeah, man, it's good to see all of you guys in here finally. Thank you so much again, Mex on Deck, seriously, for hosting so diligently. I appreciate you guys so much more than you know. And your support, really. Yeah, and that does look pretty right. I'm just gonna set it like this for a second and verify that that passes the logic test. See, now that looks like 1.25U on that one side. No, it's not. It's 1U. Yeah, that's 1. And 1. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Pull that off to the side, pull that up. We'll get that plate on here. And we'll put these back on yet again. Hey TSC, what's up? Oh, TSC, I was late too. You don't need to feel bad. I was way late. Windows updates on my rig. Oof. Lesson learned. Spend more time setting up streaming rig appropriately. Like, my main rig doesn't do that. Will never do an update automatically or try and force me into a time for an auto update. But apparently this one will. Apparently this one will right now, and I'm gonna have to go change it soon. That actually doesn't look right. All right, better. Yep. Yeah, stupid Microsoft being stupid is for real. But what are you gonna do, right? Okay, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna put this over here. An Italian Spider-Man saving the day with the layout deets. This song is maybe just a little bit too much for me right now, but you guys let me know if you want to skip it, because I'm like... Italian Spider-Man, thanks for following. I appreciate it, I really do. It's always good to have new followers. Do we really get another 1U here? I guess we do. And it makes sense. We're just grabbing whatever 1U switches we can. Oh, operating with these gloves on is gross. These are terrible, guys. Don't ever put your boards together like this. Okay, but this should look right now. Oh, and it does. Okay, perfect. Dunzo. We'll make sure we're all pushed down. Okay. I'm about done with these silly gloves. We're gonna get, oh no. That's so irritating. Well, you're going in late then. Okay, anchors. Oh yeah, we did meet at the... Oh man, that HBCP is so prime. I can't wait for the the production run. I got in on the polycarbonate purple one. Okay, we're going one gloved. We're going one gloved. The glove is off, but only one of them. Let's do Linux. Should I Linux? Is that what you're saying? Does OBS even run in Linux? I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling it does not. Tin foil, what's up? So we messed with the bottom row. We figured out what layout we're going. Thanks mostly to Italian Spider-Man. That was terrible. Okay, that's better. It's like an HHKB bottom row. Almost exactly. Do 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 do. So yeah, man, the freaking the Utah meetup was actually way more fun than I anticipated. I didn't know what to expect when I went to it because I didn't really know anyone in the area. I just happened to be in the area for business. And people were really cool. Like really, really cool. Extraordinarily, in fact. Which, I don't know, everybody was nice the whole time I was in Utah, so it's not really that surprising. I hadn't spent a lot of time in Utah, so I didn't really know what to expect. Like, you know, people have different personalities and nuances in different places. It was really good. Okay, so now let's try this again. With this 1.5U, we're going to put a 1U next to it. Okay. Oop. Okay. These gloves are super old. You know, it's funny though, I've always kind of been that way. Like, I've always wanted, like, when I was a kid and stuff, well, even when I wasn't a kid, I used to ride motorcycles, like, in the dirt bikes with family and stuff. And I was always the one who was like, I don't really want to wear boots. Like, I have an idea. Why don't I just not crash my feet into rocks? I mean, I always wore a helmet, right? But I wanted to feel the shifter, to have that tactile feedback. You want to go to a meetup so bad. There are none around you, though? Where are you? You've told us. There are none ever. There has to be some sometimes. It's not possible that there's just, like, none ever around you. Ever. St. Louis. So, I mean, there's none in all of Missouri or Illinois. Like, there's got to be something in Chicago. Which, I mean, I guess isn't close, right? But it's not stupid far. Okay. I mean, the best place to look is on Geek Hack, I think. Actually, I saw a list not that long ago, and it might have been on Keep Talk, not Geek Hack. There was like all the upcoming meetups, big meetups, all around. Actually sounds like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember it being on Keep Talk. Okay. There are some in Wisconsin too, but that might be too far. From St. Louis, I feel like that's like got to be like 9 hours. 10 hours, I don't know. To where the population centers are, at least in Wisconsin, right? Okay, so now before we get too far, we're gonna try these 2U. We're gonna try a 2U stabilizer. 2U stabs out. Always do this when you guys are building. If you, I would recommend always doing this, frankly, because this is how you're gonna find out if you're okay. So we know all those stabilizers work. That's what we wanted. Now we're gonna get some gloves on again. Put all of our switches in, and we're ready to solder it for real. I couldn't tell you for sure. They are GMK for sure, but I don't know where they came from precisely. I wish I could help you out. They're customer provided, so they are from wherever the customer got them. Sometimes I purchase things like this on behalf of a customer, sometimes I don't. Totally depends on what the customer wants. In this case, he provided all the parts. Well, he or she, right? I guess. So I don't actually know where these are. It's 6 hours to Madison. So I think Madison in Wisconsin is where they have the meetup, right? I don't know that much about it. I've never been to Madison, Wisconsin. I have been to St. Louis, Missouri, though not frequently, and it's been many years. I have been to Chicago. Oof, films, guys. I feel like Tealios totally unnecessary to put films on. It would be Madison or Milwaukee in Wisconsin. Not exactly sure how far that is from St. Louis. But you think 9 or 10 hours? Yeah, I don't know. What I don't know about the areas you're talking about could probably fill volumes. A lot of these switches are actually loose, like where the tops don't fit in well. I feel like there's still going to be some fingerprints on this polish. Not fingerprints so much as like marks from what lube is on these switches. It gets on the actual glove surface. Because they're lubed switches. Both about the same distance. All right, we aren't doing too bad. That rose gold PVD, it does look good. It looks, I think, better in person than I'm seeing on the OBS as well. Like on the OBS output, I think it actually does look slightly better. Alrighty then. Yeah, this is, I don't know, this is actually a pretty board. And so far, I like this board more than I like other exclusive boards that I built. Like E6V2, I built a couple of those on stream, and they are, the result is pretty, but in terms of actually building them, like I found them to have maybe not perfect plates in terms of alignment and tightness. I don't know. I didn't think they were the best boards ever to build. I didn't think that the quality was as perfect as some other things that we're used to, but I will say this board does seem to be pretty awesome. I'm not talking trash about the E6V2, actually. I hope you guys don't think I am. It's just, it's an expensive board. So you kind of expect everything to be fairly flawless. Uh-oh, bent pin. That's coming out. The desolder gun of doom. It's coming on. And I'm actually going to desolder this one too. Feels like that pin is not bent, but it's like the tip is not perfect. It's flawless on yours. Which one's flawless on your? Are you talking about on an E6V2 or are you talking on E65? Actually, that one's fine. Maybe. We'll pull it. PVD coating on the E65. Yeah, and this one seems flawless pretty much. There were a couple little nicks or whatever on the bottom side of the plate, maybe one or two tiny imperfections on the top of the plate, but nothing to write home about. Nothing anyone's gonna notice that isn't super close up. Oof, that pin got schmammered. Hopefully that one goes back in well. And this one actually was ever so slightly bent on the tip, but not like entirely. This one we'll put right back in where we found it, and it goes through perfect. And this one went right here, and we'll put it right back in too. Okay, so you're coming out. Okay, we'll set off to the side. So the plate is not super tight, but I mean, it's also not loose. It's kind of the like line you ride, right? You don't want it to be so tight that you can't fit whatever it is in that you want. But you don't want it to be so loose that stuff pops out on its own. Things are probably doing just fine on this board. No, honestly, this is a pretty board. I would definitely consider buying one of these. Why we're not using our silicone mat to solder on, I don't know. Okay, now we're going to populate it with the rest of the switches. Now we're going to do this corner one a little bit first too. Yeah, you can't slam it for being too tight and too loose at the same time, right? We don't like the PVD for most parts often, and it's not flawless, while sandblasted is usually consistently good. I agree with you. There are some minor scratches on the PVD. You can't really tell here, but I could absolutely see them before, like right when we opened it up. I even commented at the beginning of the stream. But they're pretty minor, and most of them are actually on the bottom side, not the top side. Yeah, Claygore, it's Wednesday. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's get all these in. Then we will pull the gloves off. Solder from the backside because, well, I hate the gloves. They're super dumb. DSGOD, what does that mean? Wait, what did I say that makes that? DSGOD. Desoldering gun of doom. Got it. Got it. I like my desoldering gun. It's one of my favorite tools. That it survived a whole week of being on accidentally without causing fires or causing any problems. No drama. Just needed to replace tip afterward. Come on. Yeah, it really is. The Hacko, I don't know, for those of you guys who have a need for a desoldering gun but don't have a Hacko, I now cannot endorse this thing any harder than I am because it is freaking amazing. It's literally the best desoldering tool in the price range that's accessible to hobbyists that I've ever seen. I left it on for a week, guys, on accident. It was fine. I know, I'm a fool for doing that. It wasn't its nice holder, but like, I don't know what kind of a better endorsement there is than I came back and it still worked. It needed like 2 fairly inexpensive parts replaced, parts that wear out over time anyway. It needed a new rubber seal for the suction chamber, and it was still working, it wasn't holding as strong a suction as it did before. It was still functional, so it didn't need that one. It was just useful, and it needed a new tip because the original tip fried pretty bad. And I bet that I can use some tip cleaner and actually recondition that tip if I try. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I guess I'm a shill for Hakko now, which is funny because I don't use a Hakko soldering iron, though I probably will at some point buy a Hakko F888. That one's bent. Let's get all this in and then solder it back together. I really want to see this board. I think I'm really looking forward to the product of this one. Switch films, so dumb. Hate them. El Captain 22, thanks for following, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't wanna glow too hard over the Hakko, I guess. I'm sure some customers don't have my experience with them. And there definitely are really premium manufacturers of soldering irons and desoldering pumps that are higher quality and more longevity than a Hakko, but not anywhere close to the price range. And Hakko probably, frankly, competes in that space as well with whatever device you can think of. I have to like inspect every one of these because of those films. Because I'm sure there are more that won't be clipped all the way together. I don't know, what are your guys' favorite tools that you use for building cubes? Like, what things could you not live without, right? I think for me, it's a decent soldering iron, a decent desoldering pump, good switch puller, or a functionally good one anyway, decent keycap puller, band-aids, precision Weha drivers. Yeah, I mean, I have some good Weha drivers, so I understand. But I use the notch set too, and I think between the notch set and one of the like generic, like fabric ones that open up that like every different person in the entire world private labels or whatever, this doodad with the like toolbox kit in there and a bunch of anti-static tweezers or whatever, between the notch and that, you actually are getting like 90% of the way to functional. But having good Weha drivers is good, especially for like deep pulls on cases. But I will say, I could live without it. Like, if I didn't have them, it would work. But a decent set of screwdrivers in general, I totally agree. You absolutely need that. Man, some of these are just bent. Okay. I got all of these switches in. And now we're done with this. Wire keycap puller is number one. You have no idea what you're missing. Yeah, if you don't have one of those, it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. You will be hard pressed to get your job done building a keyboard if you don't have one. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm considering, well, I mean, I've been considering it for a while. I want one eventually, but getting a good microscope to show you guys SMD soldering. Most of the types of SMD soldering we do on my channel, like LEDs and stuff like that, definitely do not require a microscope for me to do them or for you, but for me to show you, well, they do. And for some types of SMD soldering, they're incredibly useful. Not just for showing off on video. So I'll say that depending on what kind of work you're doing, that would be useful. Hey, what up? What up, BBB? Frisco melt. Yeah, the plastic ones. Yeah, the plastic ones can damage your keycaps. That's actually what I don't like them for. Talking about the like plastic tines that stick out that actually grab the side of the keycap that like go over it and then clip into the sides. I know I have one somewhere around here. Yeah. If not, you should. Have you had any water recently? Me? Thank you. I will. There we go. Water. Flavored water. No. It is water. It's literally flavored water. Why do you say that? Because there's carbonation in it? I mean, it doesn't have salt added to it. I was like, it's literally water and real squeezed fruit, but it has 9 calories. There's not a lot of fruit juice in this. But what's in here is literally just water. But now I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom at some point before the stream is over. See what you did? See what you did. This is why we can't have nice things. I'm joking. Thank you so much, actually, for looking out for me. Hydration is important. What's actually really dehydrating is that I'm just sitting up here yammering away in front of a camera with this fan blowing across me to remove the solder fumes, to blow them away. I don't know why I'm not going row by row now. I'm just like going completely out of order. It happens sometimes on this stream. Like, apparently sometimes we solder and we don't use the awesome silicone soldering mat that we have specifically for this thing. We just do it on a cutting board. Or cutting mat, whatever. I will say the carbonated water does cause more burps. I actually don't drink very many carbonated beverages. Basically, all the carbonated beverages I ever drink, you guys see on my stream. And it's flavored carbonated water. Or at least like 95% of them. Because I do occasionally have one of these that's not on stream night. But it is not very common. Which is a good thing, because they're kind of, I think they're pricey. I don't remember what they cost. A case of them. I'm actually contemplating getting like a glass mini fridge in here. I need to have like a logo made or designed for the stream. And then put it on here and then get like a glass door refrigerator, well, an acrylic door refrigerator or etched glass or whatever with that logo. Because that would be cool. I think we're pretty close to done. Just gonna kind of roughly look at them. There's one. Because we skipped around. Missed a bunch of these. Fooled you guys. You're thinking we were done. It's done. Just could use a little extra. This one is not done. Okay. By the way, what's a Miru? I am me, you are you. So it's I am me, you are you. Literally. Yeah, I know. So original. Sorry. 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 Lights. So the lights go on. This one is, I think if I was right, we had, well, hold on. I think this is function. Yeah, this is function. So one of those may not actually work that well. I mean, we can reflow that. I do not know why it wouldn't be. All I can do is try and reflow that joint. It's possible the actual LED itself is bad though. I am Miru. Yeah, a lot of people do that. And that's fine. I'm not gonna get bent out of shape about it. Before we do that, actually, let's do the thing that makes the best sense while doing this kind of work, which is putting a little flux on this situation. While we flow solder onto there. This one actually looks kind of like a cold joint. What we want to do is avoid actually heating that LED up. Yeah, I think that LED is... Ooh. Okay. So it actually does have like a cold joint, or the LED itself is bad. Okay. That is unfortunate. Hopefully that got it down. Yeah, I think that LED is actually bad. Unfortunately, I do not have a spare one. So it works sometimes well. We didn't touch it with ours, but I don't want to expose it to like a ton more heat. So unfortunately, I think that one may just not function right. We'll see what it looks like through the side though. It could be replaced though, but I don't have one, and the kit didn't come with one, as far as I can tell. Unfortunately, it did not. I have a feeling you're not really going to be able to tell. The case on this is gray, so we'll see what it looks like. Oh, we want to though, before we do anything super intense, right? We do want to test it. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. This is function key. We already tested that guy. This one probably is just not mapped, or... Ooh, might just be a bad switch. Yeah, I think that's a bad switch. Interesting. Okay, that's weird. That guy. Yeah, so this is the rough color of it. So you can see on there's a couple little blems as well. You can see them from there on the camera. On the PVD, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good, honestly. I think it's pretty good. This is how we know we're not hot yet. But we're definitely hot enough to melt solder. And we will pull that switch. We will take one of these other ones, straighten its pin, because these are the ones that we set off to the side, because they had bent pins. And we'll verify that this switch segment works. Okay, so back to where we were. Boom, 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 boom. This one is something we don't. Perfect. With the exception of that LED right there. You know what, I'm going to flow a little more solder onto the one pad. Put it onto all of them. Since we're here, it may help. I don't really want to heat this up too much. But, I mean, if that LED stops working, it's not going to be in worse shape than it was. Yeah. So I think what happens is sometimes the pads on the bottom of them are fragile and delaminate. So when I push down on it, it kind of goes back together. So that's a flaky one. It needs to be replaced, but at least now it's not actually glowing, which I think will be better. Okay. I will contact the customer after this since he's not in here, and if he wants to order a replacement one, I'll replace it for him. But barring that, we are where we are. Oh yeah, this is gonna be pretty. Alright guys, man, I'm so happy to see this thing almost done though. I really want to see this actual board. Yeah, this awesome E65. I can't wait for the polycarbonate one that I'm going to build in a couple weeks either. That's going to be a beautiful board. I don't know, I have a lot of like exciting boards coming up for me and for customers. Like a lot of really exciting stuff, some Keplers when those finally arrive. a KBD 8X Mark II or 2. Well, one of mine and someone else's, plus all the builds that I have of mine sitting behind me. Freaking like 6 boards behind me of mine. So many. All right. Let's see what it looks like through here with the LEDs. Man, that is a tight fit. Okay, so I have to assume that the PCB moves up just a little bit. I don't even see how that would be possible. We'll try it though. So we haven't even put the O-ring in there, and we actually need to wrap that around. Which means this whole thing will come back apart. But I want to see it. Weird. Yeah, okay. So it needs to be seated up. Yeah, it is. So this will have to come off, and then the gasket will have to go around. You'll see. So the gasket is the kind that literally goes around all of the... Well, you'll see. Here, I'll just show you guys. I wanted to see it made up right because it looked tight, and it is. Sorry, that took a while. I'll get it back together. So this is the kind of gasket, like the gasket keyboard. Kind that goes on after the fact. What up, Heiny? How you doing, man? All right, so here we go with their gasket. What are the pros of gasket mount? So there's gasket mount like this, and then there's like gasket mount where there's like gasket material under the entirety of the plate. Then there's different kinds of gasket mount like burger mount, etc. The other folks out there that have talked in the past, in my what I've seen from others, have said that burger mount is like inferior. The truth is that HPCP has them, and I think it serves that board rather quite well. It sounds amazing as a result. Now I have my J01, but I haven't been able to build it yet, so I'm not really sure how that kind of gasket mount works on that specific board, but it's gonna be pretty darn good. Just isolates the plate a bit. I actually removed them to see how it feels without it. IMO, it's crisper but lighter. I don't know, man. Like I feel like I feel a little bit of that bounce, and I like it. I mean, I'm definitely willing to build the polycarb one without it and see how I like that. But in general, I love the board exactly the way it is. Haven't built the J01. No. Were you here last week? Did you hear? Okay. So the J01, if you ordered it with an ANSI, I wanted both ANSI and ISO. So I was able to buy an ISO and an ANSI plate, or PCB rather. And really the ANSI one supports ISO, and the ISO one is strictly ISO. Anyway, the problem is that the ANSI PCB doesn't actually support ANSI. The enter is in the wrong location. So new, why did I put that one in over there? So a new PCB will need to be made for J01 to be ANSI, and I don't have an ISO plate because Jay didn't give the opportunity to get two plates in the GB, so basically I can't build it. Who made the PCB? I'm not calling anyone out, man. I'm not calling anyone out. And I think it was an honest mistake, and they're all ISO users, so, you know, I don't know what happened. But they're going to make it right. They're going to give me another, they're going to give everybody who bought them, who bought ANSI, another PCB. I was actually tempted to literally drill a hole and start hand wiring stuff together for my stream last week, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I can wait. Honestly, and the board is amazing. It looks freaking spectacular. So whatever, I'll wait. Not the end of the world. HPCP is fantastic, man. I think it's legit, like, best board I own, and I'm not just saying that because Heine's in here, because, well, those of you guys who watch my stream have heard me say that before. But that's how much I believe in that board. It's really fantastic. And I think you guys are gonna think so too. I really do. Where'd that Weehaw 1.5? There we go. Burger mounts sound delicious. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably build the other one without it. That being said, I keep going back and forth on what actual switches I'm definitely going to use in it. They're either going to be Alps Browns, Alps Ambers, or NOS Alps Whites. So I'm tempted to go clicky in it just because I love me some good Alps clickies. But I don't know, it's hard for me to not go Browns just because of how good Browns are. And I'm really a tactile guy. What's the best burger franchise? That's a really hard one. I like The Habit a lot, which many of you guys probably have never had the opportunity to have. Five Guys is really good. Freddy's is good. Culver's is good. A lot of you guys probably have had Culver's or Freddy's. So Culver's is Midwestern. Yeah, so Culver's is, but I was in Utah and they have them in Utah, and that's not the Midwest. So now is the time for you guys to decide what set we're gonna put on here. What set? I am thinking Modern Dolch. Personally. But let's do... Never lost. Wait. Canes? What's Canes? Modern Dolch? Is that what we're doing? I'll give you guys some options. Modern Dolch, Eclipse, white on black, or monochrome or minimal. Handerbite is not going. I did not jump in on it, so I will not have it. Dolch. Sky Modern Dolch. Okay. All right. Convinced. Modern Dolch it is. Oh, you said Sky, huh? Shoko would look good. However, Shoko is on my HBCP right now. It's not coming off. I'm not taking it off. It's kind of where that set lives for right now. I love it. So this is the problem I have with 65. I never remember what to put over here, what the actual like official layout is. I know it can be whatever you want it to be, but everything is like default programmed to be. Because I don't really want whatever the default program is. I don't remember what it is. I have to look it up. Five Guys it's around. I mean, California definitely has Five Guys, and I saw Five Guys in Utah when I was there. I know there's Five Guys in the northern Midwest for sure. Yeah, Five Guys is pretty darn good, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't think personally they're the best. I just think they're really good. So what I love about modern Dolch, or about Shoko, is that there's a bottom row function key, or FN key 1.5U, which is freaking crazy good. Do I have another 1U control that I'm missing in here? Alright, I give up. You're gonna need a function. Yeah, you're gonna need a function. Hate chicken. I mean, I've heard that the chicken's pretty good though. Not to you. Where's my 1.75? There you are. Costco does have awesome salmon. I agree. That's sleep. That's not what we want. trying to remember, was there a bottom row spacebar? Or, well, was there a spacebar with Moto? I know I would have bought the kit if it had it, but probably it did. So you guys think Sky Moto? Ooh, I probably should have done the modern icon. The icon legends. Nah, whatever. We are where we are. We're not going back. I feel like there was space bars. Have to be Shoko. Okay. Well, apparently I do not remember where they are. You're trying to troubleshoot a KBD66. When you plug it in, nothing happens. Any advice? When you plug it in, nothing happens at all? Like no lights come on? It's not recognized by the system at all? That's kind of rough, if that's the case. I thought there was a spacebar kit and accent arrows. If there are, I know I have them somewhere, but apparently not where I can find them. Dude, honestly, it sounds like the PCB is like dead outright. Maybe it got fried. So what are they? Okay, that looks beautiful. Oh, one of those is hidden anyway. Now you can kind of tell that it's not there, but only if you look at it, not just if you look at the glow, the burned out one. Let's go up here. Page down, delete. Or 3 page down. Delete. I feel like I have another delete somewhere. Maybe not. And I really don't care too much at the moment. Page up and insert. Well, this is definitely here. I don't know why I would do that. Nah. We're leaving it. We're leaving it. Page up. Just stay. Looks good from here anyway. Looks great, actually. This guy tested it when he built it for me. Derp. Yes. Shit, man. Calling me out. I mean, it worked when you received it. Is there any shorts in the bottom, or screws loose, or is the PCB touching the bottom of the case? Is the plate loose? Does it rattle back and forth, or I don't know. You should contact me out of here and we will chat about it. You didn't try plugging? Okay. Yikes. It's been a while since I built that. Contact me on Discord after this. We can chat about it. Or tomorrow. Maybe we can do like a video chat or something. You can show it to me. I have a feeling you may need to take it apart to check it out. Possible the connector is loose or something. Like broken. You tried it with a different cable. I don't know. Those are things I can think of off the top of my head right now, without investigating too much. But we will check it out together soon. Silly ads on 10 fast fingers. I really need to put ad block on my on my Firefox install. Actually, it's like they didn't show up. You did just take it apart to fix the alignment of the PCB. It's possible. Well, maybe, but let's take a look at it before we jump to that conclusion. That's not the right one. That's the right one. Nope. 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 Oh no! Why is this not capturing? Crud. Well, for whatever reason, that's not working. Give me 1 sec. So irritating when this doesn't work correctly. Okay. Well, we can fix it. Firefox display capture. Properties. Display 1. Does this look right? I will look now on my own stream. That's a major bummer. Sorry guys, it won't capture my other displays for some reason, probably as a result of something stupid. All right, that's irritating. We're just gonna expand this to be all sorts of big. with stupid ads all over the place. Dumb stuff. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. I can't read what you guys are saying, but it is what it is. Anyway, we did see your computer screen for a bit. Yeah, I have no doubt of that. All right. So before we go too far, we'll mute this audio, and hopefully you guys should still be able to hear me. Please tell me if you cannot. Turn this fan off, bring this down here. Okay, now, to get a typing test started, we will redo that guy. Have I ever played Z-Type? No, not that I know of. Okay, so, oh man, that was bad. Okay, try that one more time. Oh my God. That was bad. It's bad, guys. Bad. Quite bad. But apparently we get 59. Apparently that's what we get. Boom and boom. So that was it. You want to see how far I get? Yeah, it was bad. It's bad. Z-Type. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'll have to do it sometime. What's this cable? This cable is I don't know, something that sold on Massdrop forever ago. Like a carbon themed one. My other cables are from Zap, and I have aviator connectors because I'm not all badass and have limo connectors yet. I need to get that worked out, but I don't have it. Womp womp. Yeah, this is a carbon looking one, so. And it's USB-C on this end and obviously USB-A on the other end. My other cables with disconnects are, well, I have all three ends. Raid at Meowgo11. I will do that. I will do that, sir. In a minute. So is anybody got any questions or concerns or interesting things to talk about before we say adieu for the night? Piney, thanks for cheering 69 bits, man. Are your Zap cables gold-plated or no? I did get the gold-plated ones, but there's not really any benefit to that other than color. Like, no real reason. You're not gonna have corrosion on your USB cable. Because why not? Yeah, because 50 cents or $1 more or whatever it was on a cable that's already pretty pricey, why not? Especially if you go with Limos, right? And it's going to be crazy expensive. Yeah, actually, I want to write that down, Heine. I will Meowgo 11. Who is Meowgo 11? I feel like I should know who this is. Custom cable makers always getting sold out. It does. It actually does. And you're right. Zap is totally crazy, always sold out. And good for him. I hope he's making money hand over fist and doesn't have to have any other kind of a day job, because he does good work. Are you getting video lag? Like, I'm not dropping frames. I'm only pushing 5 meg. And 0 frames dropped the entire stream. Sorry, sounds bad. I was gonna say, and CPU utilization's low, like everything is good. So Twitch does occasionally have those kinds of issues though. Hopefully not me though. Normally, my internet is a lot faster now than it was recently. I upgraded kind of recently to like 460 by 20. And I think I only pay for 300 by 20, but I consistently get 460 down. And I pay for 20 up and I get like 17 up always every time I do a speed test. Yeah, and 0 frames. So they're taking everything that my system is sending to it for right now, since 0 frames dropped. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Sorry that I was super effing late today. I don't know, like 140 a month, something like that. I have a business class connection though, and I have for a long time. Like, because I want the quick turnaround if I have an issue. Because like the normal turnaround for my provider is like terrible on home. Yeah. On wave like 18 there's okay, yeah, I'm gonna totally check out this Z-Type after we're done. I gotta check it out. I'll probably play around with this keyboard and check it out. So you can tell, by the way, that one LED is out if you look at it. I'm gonna contact the customer and see what they want to do. I mean, I don't have a replacement for it, so we'll have to see what happens. I have been using keybr.com recently. Like, it tries to like auto adjust to find the things that you're weak at and do better, but I haven't increased my speed at all. I haven't really been trying though either, so I've been typing a ton, just a little bit. Yeah, man, it does look beautiful. It really does. This is a beautiful board. I'm bummed about the customer's one LED not working. And one screw, I do not have one screw here. I thought that I took them all out. I did put them all in this doodad, and then maybe we were missing one to start. I mean, I'll search the area when I'm done, because it could not have gone far. But I don't think one was missing. So I probably set it like in this box or something on accident instead of in there. Yeah, this blocker is weird. I don't really like HHKB, so I don't really like this. Because we could have fit 2 1.5s here without this blocker, but they offer it, I think, without this blocker. Clearly, based on the image that Italian Spider-Man posted earlier, they do. And they also would have offered it with a blocker between these two, it looks like. So you could have had a 1.5, a 1.5, a 7, and then a single 1.5 on this side. Yeah. I don't know, it's still a great board, and I still like it. This song is Tell Me by Alex Scrindo and Killer Cats. Darude Sandstorm. Yeah, no deal. No deal, Darude Sandstorm. That, man, you're taking it way back with that song. All right, anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna raid Meowgo 11 because Annie recommended it, and this guy seems cool. Now I kind of want to watch. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate your guys' time and your patronage. Thank you all. I apparently missed El Capitan 22, who followed an hour ago. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, absolutely. Realest dude in keyboards, or at least top 5. This Meowgo 11? Well, that's a pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome recommendation, Heine. I'll definitely be checking it out. Oh, me. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Talisman, take it easy, man. Miru. Yes, something like that. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I try to keep it real. Like, what else is this thing for? All right, guys. Thank you very much. We're gonna raid this guy. Hopefully he's super cool. I'm definitely gonna check him out. Take it easy, guys. Oh yeah. 7, 6, 5. I love that it gives a countdown. Later, guys. Take it easy.
Oh, this is why I have not checked